Hey, welcome everybody. This is John Paul Mendoza with It's a Paul World, and we are at Freedom Fest Live. And of course, I'm standing next to Sheriff Mack, the one and only Sheriff Mack, and I am just really excited to talk to him. Sheriff Mack, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me. This is I got to tell you, I'm really preoccupied with this. This is my third time to be in Rapid City in the last 7 weeks. So this is my second home. I love it here.
Well, that's great. So let's talk about what you're going to talk about here at Freedom Fest. What are the issues that are on the top of your mind right now? What needs to be said to the audience that they may not know about?
Liberty, freedom, and civil rights. That's really the main thing on my mind. And I believe that the CSPOA, the organization I formed 10 years ago, Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, is the most effective and peaceful tool we have left to restore those three commodities that I just mentioned: liberty, freedom, and civil rights. And if you see, this is how simple it is, okay?
Okay.
If we have the sheriffs of this country unite, there's 3,080 sheriffs, okay?
Wow.
Give me 1,000 of those sheriffs that will unite in what Patrick Henry called the holy cause of liberty, and that they will just do one simple thing.
What would that one simple thing be, Sheriff Mack?
Keep their oath of office. That's all they have to do, is do exactly what they promised to do when they took their job. Uphold, I call it 4 words. Keep your oath of office, but you only have to do 4 words.
Okay.
Okay?
4 words.
Ready?
Yeah.
Protect, defend, uphold, preserve. Those 4 words, and they've got it. So,
Well, in these interesting and tough times, talk a little bit about the attitudes that are out there today, pervasive, because it seems like there's some of this sense that there's a war going on between law enforcement sheriffs and the public. So who has that right? Who has that wrong?
well, I will tell you, I don't think it's very much of the public that's doing it. I think it's a very small minority group, BLM and Antifa and some radical extremist Democrats, Maxine Waters and I guess now Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, that are actually promoting violence. And we abhor violence. Our entire process is peaceful. You know, just right around the 4th of July, I went to Crazy Horse Monument. It's not finished yet. Obviously, it's close by, but it's not finished. I can't wait to see it when it's finished. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. But there was at that monument, Black Elk is the name of a holy man, and he said that we all need to discover the power that is peace. And we totally believe that. We've been saying that for a long time. And there is such a power in peace. If the people of this country would just stay with us and keep with the Bill of Rights, and if we cannot, left, right, in between, libertarians, conservatives, Democrats, whoever, if we can't unite behind the supreme law of the land,
Right.
and the Bill of Rights, there's 28 principles of liberty. There's 28 civil rights that are detailed and guaranteed in the Bill of Rights. There's 5 in number 1. If we can't get behind that and come together as a country and have some sort of unity on those 28 principles,
Right.
then we're never going to make it. We're never going to make it. But I believe that the sheriffs now are taking leadership in that regard all across this country, and that we create constitutional counties, that we not just create constitutional sanctuaries, but that we put out to every public official, that we give due notice to all federal and state bureaucrats, that if you come into this county, you be advised that the Bill of Rights will be strictly enforced in this county. Strictly enforced. You know what? I have to ask everybody in the entire world,
Okay.
who is that going to hurt?
I don't see anybody. I don't see anyone who's going to hurt.
The only one that hurts is a tyrant or a politician, you know. But we believe that even our politicians can get this. The principles of liberty upon which America was founded come first. First, not political agendas, not Democrat, Republican nonsense, bickering and fighting. The principles of liberty that America was founded upon come first, and that means for every dog catcher, every patrol officer, every sheriff, every chief of police, everyone working in government, liberty comes first.
So when you see some of the discussions about, if you will, the bad apples in law enforcement, is your sense that since this is, if they follow the principles, we would in fact root those out and change that perception?
Well, first of all, if we do the proper training, then yes to that question. And look, most cops are good people. A lot of people have asked me, well, what's the percentage? I don't know if I could slice it that way or not. But yeah, there's at least 25% of the police in this country that should have never been police officers. But we really believe it's a problem with training. The first thing that every peace officer does is that he swears an oath to uphold and defend the United States Constitution. Show me any institution within the law enforcement community that trains how to do that. None of them do. None. It doesn't exist except for us. The CSPOA does this training, and we do the Constitution training for law enforcement. And who better than a former law enforcement officer, a former sheriff, and a sheriff that the only sheriff in American history that has sued the federal government, taken it all the way to the Supreme Court and won. And this is a copy of the case right here. So this is it. We just teach about the oath of office and how you apply that to your job as a cop.
So every citizen really can, in some ways, get involved by reading about the case. So talk about how we can all get in this together instead of being on other sides of the fence.
Well, that's really the best question anybody's ever asked me, because this does not work if citizens don't get involved.
Right.
Do you know who the boss is of the sheriff?
Should be the citizens.
Citizens.
Yeah.
Citizens. So the only boss or supervisor that the sheriff has is we the people. We the people. And that's not the case for a chief of police. Now, we want chiefs of police to be on board with this too. We'll train them. We'll train their whole department.
Right.
Every patrol officer should know this. But do you know that this is probably the best de-escalation training that you could ever have? To have your patrol officers in this country that know and understand the principles of liberty and understand patriotism, and that we all understand what Patrick Henry was talking about when he said, give me liberty or give me death.
Right.
And so peace officers that totally understand these principles of liberty that are espoused in the Bill of Rights and the rest of the Constitution too. But the Bill of Rights is the supreme of the Constitution. These are the rights that government cannot touch, change, or alter. And so when you get cops to understand that,
yeah,
you know what happens? Liberty happens, and protection happens, and peace happens.
Which is exactly what people want. So how do people find out about your cause and what you're doing, and how do they get that, and maybe help go to their own local community and say, check out what Sheriff Mack is doing and his organization. So how do we help you help spread the word?
Yeah. Okay, great. I like how you put that. Go to CSPOA. That stands for Constitutional Sheriffs Peace Officers Association. Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, CSPOA.org. And you can get the training for yourself is on there. You can take my Constitution course, 6 hours. You can get that to your sheriff. Or there's other documents on there where you can vet your sheriff. You can do a survey and take the survey to the sheriff and ask him a few questions. How about this? Ask your sheriff, are you a constitutional sheriff? And then talk to him about that one way or the other. And then ask him, if they come door to door to my house from the federal government and want information about whether or not I have taken a vaccination so that they can now target me,
right,
okay, ask the sheriff what he will do to stop that. Is he going to have anything to do with forcing you or me or any of his citizens to get vaccinated by force?
Right.
And will he stand in the way and stop that? Will he do his job to protect defend, uphold, and preserve. Will he do his job to do that? That's what he promised to do. The
Right.
question is, will he do it?
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed our time together, Sheriff Mack, and this sounds like a very interesting approach to it. I always believe that more information is better. For all of you who are out there knows that our whole effort that we're doing is, of course, to get the liberty message out to more people. And I really appreciate Sheriff Mack taking some time. I know you're really busy. Any final words, Sheriff Mack? I mean, I just find that this is an important topic that more people need to get involved in. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but you're going to get a lot of understanding, and maybe it'll get you out of that funk, because a lot of people feel like nothing's going to happen. It only happens when we make it happen together. Sheriff Mack, final words.
Well, I want to make sure everyone knows that you can join this. There is a posse on our website for all citizens to become members. And that's where we get the bulk of our financial support, is through the memberships of those members. And I will say, financing this effort is vital because we can't keep up with all the demands.
Excellent. Well, I'm John Paul Mendoza with It's a Paul World, and we've been talking to Sheriff Mack here at Freedom Fest 2021 in beautiful Rapid City, South Dakota.